Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Raya binti Sulong and number metric is 1182527. So I will present about the GDP company for the pejuang saham Ken Slim. Now let's look at the introduction. So, Grand Dynamic Builders or GDB Holdings is one of the companies that pioneering in cutting-edge construction. It got listed on Bursa Malaysia on 22 March 2018. It also known as the best eco-conscious construction where concerning the cost-effective and sustainability. And until today, GDB had already completed 4 projects within the time frame, which are One Central Park, KL Eco City, Etika Office Tower, Website 3, and Menara Hubsign 3. So let's start with current earning. So the graph line that was shown in the table above is having a fluctuating since its first quarter in the Bursa Malaysia. However, the data that shown in the quarter report depicts that this company is still in good financial state because the net profit for current quarter is slightly increased to 8,797,000 than the previous quarter, which was 8,543,000. So, we can depict that for current earning it is 1. Okay, next for annual earning growth, the graph line above portrays that it minimally oscillates. The revenue for this current year was the lowest compared to other years, which is 111.1 million. But instead of all this information, the annual report shows that its year-on-year is in positive state, with increasing approximately about 54%. So, 1 for annual earning growth. For news, there was an article dated 18 January 2021. It stated that the Hon Leong Investment Bank had carried out a research on GDB Holdings, and it stated that this company is able to jump up into high return profit since it able to show a significant rising in its annual job from an average 396 million on the pre-listing to 736 million for post-listing. Other than that, this assumption also can be supported by the data shown in the balance sheet. GDB had posted a healthy debt performance since then. It also recorded that there were a few existing recurring clients that want to continue working with GDB. In no time, it will guarantee GDB's future job prospect in better direction. So, 1 for news. For supply and demand, as for GDB company, the KLSE scanner reported that the demand is lower than supply. The volume that produced by this company, which is amounted about 390,000 and 800 only, while its average volume is about 1,406,600. So, 0 for supply and demand. Leader and laggard. There are totally 3 companies that have high correlation with GDB. As we mentioned above, there are K-Power, Focusp, and Meko. In the graph above, it shows that K-Power has lead in that trend as its market capitalization is the highest. While for GDB, it can be treated as laggard because there were only a slight movement in the graph compared to the other 3 companies. So 0 for leader and laggard. Next is institutional investor. The adjusted float portrays that it was amounted about 26%, which means the institutional is higher with 74% than the numbers of retailers. Some of its institutional investors come from CHC Holdings, Yayasan Islam Terengganu, Hong Leong Balance Fund, PNB Syariah Growth Fund, and many more. So, 1 for institutional investor. The last component is market direction. So, there was an uptrend pattern of chart from the graph above. So, as we can see, it able to mark up the stock price from 38 cent to 75 cent within 1 month only, and once again in January 2021 it able to rise from 75 cent to 1 ringgit plus within less than 1 month. So GDP has shown a good potential of growth, so one for market direction. So, as the conclusion from what that have been analysed from the GDP company, the Slim result show that current earning is 1, annual earning is 1, news is 1, supply and demand 0, leader and laggard is 0, institutional investor is 1, market direction is 1. So the total is 5. With this result, this company should be listed in the choice of the investor because it has a potential to give them a good and huge return. So that's all from me for GDP company. Thank you.